the Achimota forest and other forests in this country. Yesterday, I asked a question. And I asked specifically because I said it doesn't make sense to me that just last year we spent 12 million Ghana cedis. 12 million Ghana cedis. The other thing is that 12 million Ghana. That's Achimota forest, by the way. That's a drone shot. Beautiful drone shot by Danny. 12 million Ghana cedis last year alone to plant 5 million trees. You granted 7 million trees. Now we go to Glasgow with a huge number, and we go and give them our action plan or plan of action for our fight against Galamsey and, all those climate action, blah, blah, blah. SDG Go 13 went and spoke big English. Now we finished with that. We are back into the Tiwa forest, and now we are taking about a quarter of the Achimota forest. The family called Owu, and maybe very soon you call me Johnnie Beresford Hughes Owu, because I may just get a portion of the piece of land that has been reclassified, whatever it means. If you go around the Achimota area, if you go around Legon, if you go around Abelenkpe Jowolo, if you go around Tesano, you find that the quality of air you breathe around there is so clean. So clean, it's different. Like you go to Akosombo, the air is so clean, it's different. It's because of the trees. We know this. And I say as far back as 1930, the colonialists knew and saw that they had to create a buffer in the heart of the city to engineer rain, to provide firewood for the Achimota school, because at the time gas stoves were not there. Also to make sure that they had wildlife and ecological space where researchers and students can go and learn. I mean, they thought forward. 92 years on, we are deciding that we will chop part of it off. So the question I ask is, does it make sense to spend money to plant trees and then cut trees? Ajana 1, Ajana 2, as I said yesterday. Cut tree, plant tree. That's what we are doing. And my pain is that Mr. Jinapo complained about Sada and Jida before he became Deputy Chief of Staff and now Minister and MP. He complained about it. What's happening? And the excuse that, oh, we are only doing what has already been agreed on by the previous government. Well, that is why they were chased out. You call them incompetent. How do you measure yourself with the standard of the incompetent? And if at this time, the SDGs are in full force, our president is the co-chair of the SDG, Committee of the UN. And we have seen the importance to even develop a climate action plan for Ghana. We have not finished fighting Galamsey. We are only throwing money at Galamsey, really. We have not finished fighting Galamsey, because the last time I remember, there was a tripartite ministerial team of Kojo Opon Nkrumah, Mr. Abu Jinapo, and Madam Cecilia Dapa, who were actually part of the interministerial committee of 10 that President Akufo-Addo formed in the first term to fight Galamsey. They said now they were going on a tour to understand the problem of Galamsey. These are the people who told us that they have solved 95% of the problem. They are now going around on a tour to understand the 5% of the problem that is left so that they can fight it. So really, we are throwing money at Galamsey. Where are the drones? We did Operation Galam Stop, Operation Vanguard. What has been the result? Soldiers have been caught on camera protecting Galamsey sites. What has happened? National security people have been caught at Galamsey site. What has happened? National security coordinator in the Ashanti region was hounded and chased out of his office, handcuffed. Yesterday was 1 full year. What has happened? So the impunity in the country is becoming magnanimous and is becoming huge and gargantuan by every stretch of the day. That's Achimota Forest for you. Now, I go back to 2008. 28th October 2008. This was in the last quarter of President Kufuor's presidency, second term. 28th October 2008, Thursday. 23rd of October 2008, Thursday. This was during President Kufuor's era. I read for you. It's a Ghana web story. Isaac Essel used to work there at my Johnnie line at the time. It was sourced from my Johnnie line. Later, Isaac came to work here. I don't know where he is these days. But it says a number of individuals and organizations, including the National Democratic Congress, have instigated campaigns of massive resistance against government's proposed conversion of the Achimota forest into a commercial center, 2008. According to Joy News, it has in possession a letter signed by Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Alhaji Hamidu Ibrahim Baye, asking the Executive Director of the Forestry Commission for advice on the proposed redevelopment of the Achimota forest. The letter stated that the Commission's input is needed urgently as the directive is coming from the Office of the President, which has mandated the Ministry of Lands, Forestry and Mines to undertake a feasibility study to convert the reserve into a high-density commercial center. The forest is located along Accra Motorway extension. It spans more than 900 acres and was set aside as a reserve in 1930. I told you, acquired in 1921. There's also a 1927 acquisition, which receipts the minister says they can't find, which is why it's become necessary for them to give back the land to the original owners for whatever reason. But we know why we acquired the land. Why can't we compensate them and keep the land and use it for the climate action, the green agenda? But Kofi Boakye Yadom. I want to reveal something here quickly. Kofi Boakye Yadom, a botanist, told Joy FM Super Morning Show, the move is a bad idea. At a time the world is threatened by global warming, nothing has changed. To me, it's one of the most dangerous decisions that any technical person who is green-minded would want to make, because Achimota Forest is just about the only green belt in the heart of Accra. And now we talk about climate change and the depletion of the ozone layer. Nothing has changed. It's worsened, actually. I wonder how anybody would want to just cut off all the green away when we have concrete all over the places in Accra now. It's a bad decision. I don't think it's correct. I agree with him 100%. Now, Mr. Yao Asafo-Maafo, who at the time was finance minister, he later became, he was not senior minister, but now, in the first administration of President Akufo-Addo, he became senior minister. So if he had been a boys' school, he would have been the boys' prefect, head boy. If he has a mixed school, he would have been the senior boys' prefect. Honorable Fremont Akosua-Pare would have been the girls' prefect. Now, this is the senior minister who is now the senior advisor to the president. Of all the advisors the president has, he's the senior most advisor. Means I have the president's ear. This was what he said in 2008. Mr. Yao Asafo-Maafo, a former minister of state and a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, observed that the move was wrong and wished it would not materialize. 2008, this was Yao Asafo-Maafo's thought. He said it was wrong and it should not materialize. Now, fast forward to 2022, he is chief advisor to the president. Is it still wrong? Is it still not advisable? I don't know. And it says, I hope it is not true. This is a quote from Asafo-Maafo. Because if it is true, it is a very major policy defect which must be corrected immediately. Where is the speed in correcting it these days? He was surprised that while countries are preventing their forests and those without forests are doing everything possible to turn certain portions of their cities into forests, Ghana is rather destroying its reserve. We are lucky to have Achimota Forest. And for heaven's sake, nobody should dream of turning it into a commercial center. We need it ecologically. We need it as part of a city that is growing at this rate. It will be very wrong for anybody to attempt to commercialize that forest. I finished. This was 2008. Yao Asafo-Maafo, Minister of State, a senior man in this country, a statesman at that. He now is the senior most advisor to the president. He has the president's ear. This is what the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has presented to the president. Possibly the president has assented to an executive instrument which has already been gazetted and he had taken effect from the 1st of May. Mr. Yao Asafo-Maafo is still alive, is still healthy, happy and hale. He still advises the president. He thought in 2008 under President Kufuor, this move that we are doing now at the Achimota Forest was wrong and he wished it would not materialize. Mr. Asafo-Maafo, time and chance is looking up to you. Is this still wrong? Must it still not materialize? The ball is in your court, sir. Good morning.